Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video I'm really excited about. I have been so curious about this foundation and could not wait to get my hands on it. So today I'm going to be doing a first impression style review on the new Huda Beauty Faux Filter Foundation. This foundation is brand new, just came out. I ordered it on Sephora, did like the 2-day shipping, and I was like, just get this to me, okay? So this review is not sponsored. I paid for this with my own money. I was not sent this in PR, nothing like that. Your girl just wanted to try out a new foundation. Again, this is a first impressions style review, so I'll have updates and stuff in the description box down below. There's been a lot of hype about this foundation on Instagram, and I'm really excited to see what it was all about. If this is your first time on my channel and you're just kind of like searching the web right now, just browsing, and you came across this video, first of all, thank you for clicking. Second of all, welcome. I would love for you guys to click subscribe and join my YouTube fam. If you're an OG subscriber and you're back, what's up? Welcome back. Glad to see you again. And if you guys want to see what's going on with this foundation, if it works, I hate the phrase the tea, but I kind of can't think of anything else to use right now because that's just the lingo. What else can we say besides what's the tea on this foundation? Like, no shade. It's just one of those things that like kind of irks me a little bit. I'm trying to think of what we could say. What's the scoop? I feel like that's so 90s, but let's bring it back. So if you guys want to see the scoop on this foundation, then just go ahead and keep on watching. So I got two colors to see how I would like them. This is the outside packaging. Very sleek, very pretty. On the top you can see the different colors. I got the shade 300N Latte, which is a lighter one, and then I got 330N, which is Butter Pecan, and that one's a little bit darker. I have no idea which one I'm gonna be. I do have a fresh self tan on, so my neck is darker than my pink face. This room is so hot, you guys. I forgot what it was like filming with softbox lighting. They get so hot. So sorry if my face is a little red. It's usually not like this, but I am very hot, and for whatever reason I thought it would be a good idea to wear a sweatshirt. So that's where we're at right now. This sponge is my jam right now. This is from Flower Beauty, and if you've never used it, it is just really good. It is so soft and squishy. This is the most comparable thing I've ever found to a beauty blender that is not a beauty blender. I think you can pick these up for like $6 or something cheap like that. I wish you could feel through the camera. They're just so soft. So as you can see, my skin is in horrible condition right now. These lights are very, very forgiving, but I have stuff like all over my face right now. My face is not cooperating with me right now, but I have seen Instagram videos on this and the coverage looks insane. I'm really excited to see how this can cover, especially because I'm dealing with less than perfect skin right now, so this will be a really good test to see how this foundation is. I'm gonna just go ahead and open this up for you guys to see. That is the packaging. I don't think it's glass. It feels like plastic to me. I have definitely felt more luxurious feeling packaging, like this compared to the Fenty, which is the frosted glass, very heavy, kind of luxe packaging. That definitely feels nicer than this, but this still feels and looks nice nonetheless. So again, there is an up close look. Excuse my nails, I need to get them done. I'm just kind of a hot mess, but I really wanted to get on and film for you. So this does have a really nice pump. It's got a cute kind of chrome lid to it here, pump up here. All right, so there's the two colors next to each other. You can't see a huge difference in the packaging. This one's the darker one, that one's the lighter one. So before we get into this, I want to read you a little bit about what these claims are. First of all, this retails for $40, which is kind of on par with like Makeup Forever and prices like that. It's pretty comparable to a lot of things that are in Sephora right now, but it's definitely a more expensive foundation. I don't have a huge problem with that if it performs well. You also get just a little bit more in this bottle than you would a normal foundation. I think the average is about 1 fluid ounce. This one has 1.18 fluid ounces. So just to kind of give you a rundown on the claims, this is a full coverage. You can also get medium coverage. I'll tell you how to do that in a second. So it is a medium to full coverage. It says it's good for all skin types. I was a little thrown off on the website by the finish of this. It claims to be a satin matte radiant natural finish. Haven't really heard those all together before. It makes sense, I guess. Maybe the satin is if you don't set it, the matte if you do set it. It's supposed to be radiant and natural looking, so it doesn't claim to be luminous at all, but it also doesn't claim to be like a super matte foundation. So I'm really interested to see how this wears on the skin. All of this is coming from the Sephora website. Here's just a little blurb to kind of put it quickly. It says it's a full coverage cream foundation that visibly conceals blemishes, imperfections for a filter-like finish. So this foundation does come in a 30 shade range, which is great. I feel like we're starting to see companies get a little more on board with coming out with a lot more shades. I feel like recently I've learned a lot about foundation shade ranges and how messed up they are. As messed up as it is, I haven't been too informed because I fall in that medium shade range where there's like a million options to choose from for my skin tone. So I have never really struggled, but I realize that on both ends, there's like a huge struggle to find foundations, whether you're super deep or super light. So it's really cool to see companies coming out with bigger shade ranges, more undertones, because it's not a one size fits all. I feel like even in the medium shade range, sometimes you have to really make an undertone work for your skin and like bring it all the way down your neck and chest when it's not really a perfect match, but like you can make it work. Makeup Forever has always had a really good shade range in my opinion. They have a lot of different undertones, but it's nice to see, you know, Fenty and Huda coming out with a really great shade range as well with multiple different undertones. So props Huda on that. I'm really excited about this. So the last couple of things, it says it dries to a radiant powder finish, and then for oily skin it suggests you set with a translucent powder. So I am a more like combo normal skin, so I might set it in certain areas, maybe not all over. So this is a full coverage foundation, but you can make it a medium coverage as well. They did come out with a brush and a primer. I did not purchase those. To be completely honest with you, I got on Sephora's website and I just ordered these. I didn't even think to look for a primer and a brush. I don't know why. I just was not aware that they were coming out with that. So I don't have that to test out today. But for medium coverage, they suggest you mix the primer with the foundation together and then apply it with a synthetic brush or a beauty sponge. And then for full coverage, it says use a dime size amount with a synthetic brush, and then you put your primer on first. So I am primed and ready to go. I'm just going to put a couple pumps of this on the back of my hand, and then I'm just going to dot this around my face. The undertone in this reminds me a lot of the Fenty foundation that I use, the color 290. It has a very like kind of warm but olive undertone, and it works perfectly for me like right after I put a tan on. This is a very like creamy formula, and it smells nice too. It kind of smells like perfume, but not in like a bad way at all. It smells like this Givenchy perfume that my mom used to wear, and I remember as a kid, oh my god, wow. Holy cow, that is like a major, like, you know when you have those moments where you just like hit with this nostalgia? That's what I'm feeling like right now. I love it. It's, oh my god, I can't think of what the name of it was. And oh my god, if I can find a picture of it, I'll put it like on the screen or something. But holy coverage, can we just take a minute for that? Like you can't see anything. Okay, so I am using a sponge, obviously, to put this on. And it says when you use a sponge, that's gonna give you more of a medium coverage. I can't imagine more coverage than this. I can't get over the smell. Oh my gosh. It just makes me think of my mom, and I love that. This is the kind of matte that I like. The Fenty is a little, and I'm just comparing it because they're two pretty recent releases. I haven't reviewed too much foundation at all lately outside of that. This is a matte that I'm more comfortable with. I like the Fenty foundation, but I'm not as comfortable with that intense of a matte. Like this is a much more wearable matte for me. I hope the lighting is okay in this video. I'm really worried because I'm using this whole new setup and I'm so nervous this video is gonna look like trash. Now that is some coverage. Holy cow. I'm like, do I even need concealer? I'm obsessed with the smell of this, you guys. It's not like a really intense smell. Like I don't smell it on my face right now, but when I was kind of dotting it around and then I started blending it out, I was like, oh my gosh, what does that smell like? And then it made me think about the smell. So it's a little tacky right now. I don't think it has set completely. It did not transfer though. So even though it's a little, I mean, it's not bad. It's a little tacky, but it's not transferring that I can tell onto my fingers. So far, I'm really liking this. I definitely see what they're talking about as far as a radiant matte. Like I don't see a lot of shine on my face, but it also just looks like my skin just a little bit mattified and overall perfected. I'm gonna go in with my I almost said Tarte Shape Tape. I'm gonna go in with my Tarte Shape Tape concealer. I don't need concealer, but I do need some brightness. My under eyes are like perfectly covered, and I feel like overall my face and my neck blend really well, so this color was perfect for where I'm at tan wise right now. So a lot of people ask me what shade I use in the shade. Why do I want to say Chart? What the heck is wrong with me? The light medium honey is the color that I use in the Shape Tape. We're going to put her on. Blend out. Seriously, you guys, if you don't have this beauty sponge, get it. It's like one of the greatest things. It's almost like in a way softer. My God, my face just smells good right now. I love the way Shape Tape smells. And with this foundation, wow, my face smells fresh.
Get to Del Taco. They got a new thing called free shavacadoo.
So anyway, if you don't have this sponge, look how effortlessly that just blended out. Seriously, do yourself a favor and go get this sponge. It's so good and it's so affordable. It's just really, really soft and I love that. I can't stand freaking sponges that feel like you're just punching yourself in the face. Not fun. So there's some brightness underneath my eyes. Wow. I don't think I'm gonna set this with a powder. I'm going to set my under eyes though. So for my powder, I'm going to be using my Too Faced. Oh, this is so good, you guys. I love this powder so much. This is the Born This Way Erythral Setting Powder, and it's the translucent. I don't think they have another one. I know some people don't love this, but I actually love that it has this little topper inside the lid. Great for traveling. So I'm gonna just take this on a little brush. I'm just going right under here and setting my concealer. I almost always bring my concealer onto my eyes and just use that as my eyeshadow base. So, woo! Got some creasing going on. Probably should not have brought the foundation all the way up under my eye, but because it did crease a little bit more than my under eye would normally with Shape Tape. The foundation is already really settling into my smile line, which is not super pronounced. I don't have a very big smile line. Only certain foundations bring it out. So I'm definitely noticing that right here and a little bit on this side. And then kind of right here in my chin. Not real excited about that. I'm gonna go over this with my beauty blender again, and then I am gonna set it right here to see if that helps at all. I don't think I would normally set this foundation for like my skin type, but for these lines here, I'm gonna go ahead and set it because I just don't want to deal with that. Don't need that kind of negativity in my life. So just doing a little powder. I am where I, raise my eyebrows and stuff. I've got some fine lines up here that I'm just going to go ahead and powder just to see if that helps at all with the lines. We'll update on that. All right, so I have this on now. I've set the areas that I feel like I need to set. I haven't set like this, my cheeks and all that. It still feels a little tacky. I definitely feel it setting. The good and the bad thing about this is it doesn't set super quick, so that does allow for a little bit of creasing, but the fact that it doesn't set super quick allows you to continue to work with it and not be like on a time crunch, I keep mentioning Fenty just because it's another recent foundation that I've used, and I haven't used too many other new foundations outside of that, but the Fenty, you have to work quick. I was sitting here talking to the camera, doing stuff. My foundation was like, girl, no, you better get going, because it was like setting and I was like talking. So this, I had plenty of time to work with, even though it is a more like it's on the matte side. It's obviously not a very illuminating foundation. So anyway, I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna go give myself some eyebrows because I look bald right now. I'm doing kind of a 2-in-1 review today, so if I look the same in another video, just keep that in mind. I'm also reviewing the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette. I know I'm a little bit late on this, but a lot of you guys have asked for this review, so I'm still going to go ahead and do it. So I'm filming that video like at the same time I'm filming this, so if I look the same in both videos. That's why. So I'm gonna jump off, I'm gonna do my brows, do all that good stuff. I'm gonna do my eyeshadow, and then I will hop back on and let you guys know how the foundation looks after I've gotten the rest of my makeup on. Okay, so it has been a minute since I put the foundation on. I have done all my makeup. You guys are probably like, who is she? What a before and after this has been. This is like full coverage, full beat, balls to the walls. I don't know really what my hair is doing. I'm trying so hard to work with it, but it's giving me a little trouble today. Anyway, so here's the foundation. Again, I am doing a review on this palette, which is what I'm wearing right now. I thought I would just kill two birds with one stone and kind of do these videos together. So I apologize that I look the exact same in both of these videos. I know that annoys some people, but obviously I'm just kind of trying to maximize my time here. So I figured while I was trying her foundation, I might as well review her palette too. So if you haven't seen that, it will be up after this video. So back to my thoughts on the foundation. So it looks beautiful. I love how full coverage it is. I have noticed my texture in a few areas is not looking as nice as when I first put it on, like right here. My forehead, it is sinking into some lines, unfortunately. I think maybe I just need to set it quicker after I get the foundation on. That might help. Just reading from the Sephora website, it basically just said to set if you have oily skin. I have combo skin, so I'm not gonna be someone who's really quick to set a foundation if I don't need to, but just with the way it is kind of settling into some lines on my forehead, really not too bad, but it is. I think next time I use this, I'm gonna set it really quickly. So it looks better right here after I set it than before, so that's something else to note. It is still settling into some lines right here, but not nearly as bad as it did when I hadn't set it yet. It was like that full-on classic crease that you could see, just crease, and then you know how the product kind of like builds up in it almost, like when it gets on your eyelids or whatever. It was doing that at first. Now that I have powdered it, it's not doing that classic crease thing. It's just doing that thing where it kind of settles right there. Looks a little cakey right here on my chin. Usually with stuff like that, I can kind of finesse it and make it look a little better. I think next time when I put this on, I'm gonna go really, really light with the foundation right here, like probably take my beauty blender, bounce it off on my hand, and then go right there. It looks great on the rest of my face, my forehead, and the center and everything. I feel like some of these dark spots are peeking through just a little bit. I feel like I can't be too harsh on that though, because my face is in not the greatest shape right now, and I did have self-tanner on it, so those spots are a lot darker than they even normally would be. My bronzer, blush, and highlight went on beautifully. I feel like it looks very, very smooth. It didn't pull, it didn't get splotchy at all. I really struggle with stuff getting splotchy on my forehead, and my forehead looks smooth. Like the product all blended out great. For my bronzer, I used my Huda bronzer by Benefit, which is my go-to when I'm trying out new things, because I feel like this never fails me, and if it does, then it's usually more of a foundation issue than a bronzer issue. So when I'm using new foundations, I go to my staple products. I used a Marc Jacobs blush today, one of those air blush brushes. No, blush. I can't say that all at one time. It's the one with the little stripes in it. I feel like that applies across the board smoothly on any foundation, unless the foundation's not that good. And then for my highlight, I used my Dose of Colors Desi X Katie in the shade Mirame, and it is just stunning color. I've been using the absolute crap out of this, and I feel like it looks stunning. It is so late when I'm filming this. My original intent was to film this morning and do check-ins, but that just did not happen. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to just type my check-ins in the description box down below for you guys instead of visually checking in. I'm pretty impressed. I'm going to keep trying it, and I will update you guys in future videos how I'm liking it. So just kind of keep your eyes and ears peeled, and I'll definitely be chatting with you guys on how this works long term and my kind of thoughts as I go forward using it. This is definitely something I would use again. I'm not a fan. Oh, it is creasing a little under my eyes too. I probably should not have brought the foundation under my eyes. I think for this foundation, if you're gonna bring it under your eyes, maybe don't use a ton of concealer, because I am kind of like having some line stuff go on. Not terrible. Overall, I really like this foundation. I don't like that it's settling into fine lines. So if you're gonna be taking photos or something like macro, super close images, maybe not use this foundation, but I just feel like in person it looks beautiful. Like I definitely, at first I was really thrown off by the way they described it. I'm reading my notes right here. It was a satin matte radiant natural finish, and I was like, what? Like that was, it just did not compute. So I totally get it now that it is on my face. Like it definitely is more matte than a lot of the foundations that I use. I don't feel like it looks very cakey with the exception of kind of just here on my chin, but it is a radiant foundation. I feel like my skin looks very healthy and youthful. I don't feel like it looks super, you know, dry and crackly like a lot of matte or matter foundations make me look. I would just say that if you have fine lines, definitely go in and set those areas right away so that you don't run into the creasing issue. But outside of that, I think it's a really solid foundation so far. So that's it for this video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video.